In the last video, you learned how to choose the right ACP for you, what the admissions process looks like, and how you accept your invitation so you can become officially enrolled. Once you're enrolled, it can definitely feel like you're ready to walk into a classroom and start teaching right away. And you're close. But there's one big step first. The piece that unlocks your ability to get hired and start your paid teaching internship. And that's earning your statement of eligibility, or SOE. Let's start by getting totally clear on what an SOE is, why it matters, and what you need to do to earn it. Your statement of eligibility, or SOE, is a document from your program that tells school districts you are ready to be hired for your internship. Now, here are some things to know about your SOE because it gets confusing fast. First, your SOE is not a teaching certificate. It is a document saying you're eligible to be hired for your internship under the supervision of your ACP. Once you're hired into that internship teaching position, because you have your SOE, your program can then recommend you for an intern or probationary certificate. And that's the temporary teaching certificate that legally covers you to teach while you finish the program. One quick thing before we move on, you don't apply for an SOE on your own. Your program issues it once you've completed the steps TEA requires. So let's talk about what those requirements are and how you earn it. To earn your SOE, you'll complete 3 things. Not always in this order, but these are the 3 things that are required. You'll start and complete early coursework for your ACP. You'll need to pass your content exam, and you'll complete your required observation hours. Now, let's walk through each of these step by step. After you enroll in your ACP, you'll start coursework right away. This is your training, and it's meant to build the classroom skills you'll need as the teacher of record. All programs are required to provide at least 300 total hours of coursework and/or training overall. That requirement is set by TEA and SBEC, the State Board of Educator Certification. For your SOE specifically, you'll need to complete 150 of those hours, unless you qualify as a late hire, and we'll talk about that later. So no matter which ACP you choose, expect the same SOE coursework requirements. As you're working through your early coursework, your program is also helping you get test ready, because passing your content exam is the next big requirement for your SOE. Let's walk through it next. Another big piece of earning your SOE is passing your Texas content exam for the subject and grade level you want to teach. Passing your content exam proves to the school districts you know the subject you're planning to teach. Now, I know it can be tempting to schedule your test as soon as possible since your exam is such an important part in your journey, but you usually can't register for the exam right away. Your program has to give you test approval first. So what does test approval actually mean? And what do you usually have to do to get it? Let's unpack that now. Test approval is basically your program's way of saying, you have proven to us you know this subject, and we believe you can pass your content test. This is important because these content exams cover a lot of information, and it's really easy to lose time, money, and confidence if you rush into it before you've had a real chance to prepare and study. Now, gaining test approval can look a little different depending on the program because each ACP can set its own requirements. But in general, you can earn test approval by completing the steps your program requires and showing you're ready to pass, often through practice work or a practice test score. For example, at 240 certification, candidates gain test approval by completing their test prep course and passing the practice test with an 85% or higher. In general, expect to gain test approval by starting some sort of test prep coursework and meeting your program's requirements for test approval, like passing a practice test. Now, there's one more SOE requirement you need before you can start your teaching internship, and that's your field-based experiences. The final step to earning your SOE is completing 50 hours of field-based experiences. Some people call these observation hours. Observation hours are time you spend in real classrooms, watching, helping, and getting hands-on experience before you are a teacher of record. Here's what you're aiming for. You must complete 50 total hours. At least 25 hours must be in person and actively engaged in the classroom. Up to 25 hours can be non-engaged activities, like observing a classroom, or watching videos provided by your program if they allow that option. Your program will give you clear directions on what counts and how to log everything so they can verify your hours. Make sure you follow their exact processes so every hour counts. Now that you know the 3 big requirements to earn your SOE, let's talk through a few common situations that can change the timeline, because real life doesn't always run on the perfect schedule. Do you remember when I said this earlier in the video?
For your SOE specifically, you'll need to complete 150 of those hours, unless you qualify as a late hire. And we'll talk about that later.
Well, it's later. In a typical timeline, you would finish all 3 of the SOE requirements. Your first 150 hours of coursework, passing your content exam, and completing your observation hours, all before you start your teaching internship. But the teaching jobs don't always wait for your perfect timeline, do they? Sometimes the district calls you with an opening right before school starts, or even in the middle of the school year, and there isn't enough time to complete all of those SOE steps before you start. That's where late hire comes in. To qualify as a late hire, you must be enrolled in an alternative certification program and be hired during the late hire window, which starts 45 days before the first day of instruction and continues after the school year begins. Late hire allows you to earn your SOE after completing just 1 requirement, passing your content exam. This helps you start that teaching position faster with your intern or probationary certificate. Then you'll have 90 business days to finish the remaining 2 SOE requirements, your observation hours and your first 150 hours of coursework. Make sure those things get done. Otherwise, your intern or probationary certificate can be deactivated, and we don't want that for you. Another question that comes up is whether coursework can transfer from one program to another if you decide you want to switch to another ACP. And that answer is maybe. It depends on what you completed, how long ago it was, and whether it matches what your current program requires. TEA rules allow programs to decide whether to give credit for prior training or not, so transferring coursework is usually handled on a case-by-case basis. Your new program will have to review your records and approve what they'll accept. Not all hours are guaranteed to transfer, and your new program may still require additional training to make sure you're ready. Now, what if you're already hired? Can any parts of your current job count for certification? We know some teachers are hired before they're fully certified or have earned their SOE. In Texas, one way this can happen is through a District of Innovation, or DOI plan. Some districts use DOI plans to hire teachers who aren't yet certified. But here's the key thing to know. Being hired and completing an ACP internship are not automatically the same thing. Remember, your teaching internship only begins after you have earned your SOE and have been issued your intern or probationary certificate. Teaching done before you've earned your SOE cannot count as part of your internship year. If you want your job to count as your official teaching internship, you still need to earn your SOE, meaning you complete the steps we covered: coursework, passing your content exam, and completing observation hours. So even if a DOI hire helps you get into the classroom, it's still smart to earn your SOE so the work you're doing is moving you towards full certification. So what did we learn? First, your SOE is the thing that makes you eligible to be hired as a paid teaching intern. Second, you earn it by completing 3 requirements: finishing your 150 hours of coursework, passing your content exam with test approval first, and completing your 50 hours of field-based experiences, also known as observation hours. And lastly, even if your timeline is a little different, like late hire or you're already in the classroom, the goal is still the same. Get your SOE, so the work you're doing counts towards full certification. Next up, let's walk through what happens now that you've got your SOE, how to start applying for jobs, and what kind of teaching jobs will actually count as your internship.